sometimes I just overthink things, you know what I'm saying? And when I was just getting this video ready, you know, setting up my camera and all that, I always have the iPad just below with all the information I've researched about a shoe, you know, past shoes from this line, all that kind of stuff. So I'm setting all that up and I realized it's a black and purple shoe, and it just hit me. The Lakers are right there in the NBA Finals. They just, as I'm shooting this, finished Game 5 and lost it just at the death to the Miami Heat. So it's now 3-2 to the Lakers in that series. Now, when you're watching this, that series will most likely have been finished and the Lakers may or may not have won their first championship in 10 years. But it was just while I was doing this purple Lakers, purple and gold uniforms, you know, and I was wondering if maybe, just maybe, the Jordan line lined this sneaker up ready to go, knowing that this would be, you know, on the back end of the NBA Finals, or is it just pure coincidence? The coronavirus has pushed back the sporting calendar by months. These games should have been played way back at the end of the spring or the start of the summer, whichever way you look at that. So we're months behind the schedule. So just maybe it's just chance that the Jordan 12 is coming out with a purple and black sneaker just as the Lakers are in the NBA Finals at the end of the NBA Finals series. And that purple sort of theme there is just going to turn out well for the Jordan line. I don't know if that's, you know, good planning on their part. I don't know if that's their sales technique or whatever. But literally, just as I was getting this all together, I was like, oh, there's purple on this. Oh, that's all about the Lakers. Especially, I was thinking about the LeBron 18 Lakers, and that was part of the video. That, you know, part of the point. My point in that video was all about how it's a black and purple shoe, and there wasn't enough gold in there. And then you look at this guy, and it's definitely black and purple with no gold in there. A little bit of white though, and we'll be getting on to all that today as we take a look at this shoe. So I'm going to go through this for you guys and step by step tell you what I know about this shoe. There's one particular place on it that I have to tell you what I think about this shoe, and maybe you know, and you'll be able to tell me the right information in the comments down below. And then I'm going to give you my verdict on whether this works, because it's a one-tone Jordan 12. And there are basically two kinds of Jordan 12s, two-tone and one-tone. And this is a one-tone. I'm going to tell you my take on all of that. In today's video, as we take a look at the upcoming release of the Nike Air Jordan 12 Black Concord. This is the Tokyo Bada 23 Sneaker Channel, Tokyo Bada 23 Sneaker Channel des. Mainichi Upsuno de, Mainichi Mitiku Design. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And I've got half an eye on my dog on the sofa over there because she's playing around with one of my girls' books. Now, if she's just licking it, we're fine. But if she starts chewing on that thing, I might have to get in there and stop her doing that. But fingers crossed, we won't be interrupted today like we were yesterday. Last night, middle of the night, about 12:30, I was shooting a video about the SB Dunk Low Pro Crater, a very recyclable or recycled shoe coming from the Nike line, and we were interrupted multiple times as my little girl woke up in the middle of the night. And that's the problem with shooting videos every single day, is that you have to try and find the right moment to do it. Right now, Saturday afternoon, around about 4:45 in the afternoon, and she's having her afternoon nap, so fingers crossed no disturbances from her and no disturbances from my dog over there. So okay, let's get into this video. And I said earlier already, there's two kinds of Air Jordan 12s. There's the one, the single tone. So I thought I'd dig into the archives and find a single tone Air Jordan 12 for you guys, and I came up with this winterized black version from 2019, which is a really cool shoe. And you can see it's a very black shoe. I mean, today's shoe, I called it a single tone, but there's purple and white in there, and, you know, in the hits, just little details. But this winterized black is much more black, you know, single tone shoe. And then there's a double tone, the two-tone shoes. And I always like to go back to Chinese New Year 2017, not 2019. That's a whole different kettle of fish as far as colors go. But this 2017 Chinese New Year Jordan 12, predominantly white and black, couple of hits of gold in there as well. But that's your two-tone, and then back to your one-tone winterized black, and then back to today's shoe, which is predominantly black. You know, a couple of hits of purple, but basically it's black. And what we're talking about is the mud guard in the upper. Sometimes that comes in two colors, black and white, and sometimes it comes in one, like today's shoe. It's all in black. And I'm going to give you my verdict on whether they pulled it off at the end of this video with that single tone black throughout. Now, talking about that black, we have to talk about the materials. The places I look for information about these shoes, sometimes they tell me different things, and they particularly Kicks on Fire. Many of you will know the Kicks on Fire website out there where I get lots of information for my shoes, and then Sneaker News, another website that's fairly reliable, and actually I often get my thumbnails from there because they have really high quality photographs. And so those two, you know, sites, checking it out, researching this shoe, finding out as much as I can about it before I talk to you guys out there. And what they told me was Kicks on Fire said Nubuck and Sneaker News said Suede for the upper. Now we're talking about is the upper, if you like, so not the mudguard. The mudguard on there I've read is it lizard print, I think I read on there. So leather lizard print mudguard. And hopefully I've zoomed in on it, and I think there's a special picture of it actually that gives you a really clean shot of that lizard print on there, but it also gives you a very clean shot of the upper right beside it. And I'm debating Suede or Nubuck, and this is what I mean. You guys might know, you might actually know. I've seen these shoes, I've had them in hand, I've looked at the tag on it, and I know it's Suede, I know it's Nubuck. And if you do, tell us in the comments down below. I love it when people share information. But for like I say, I'm looking at this picture here. I've got to go with the Nubuck guys over at the Kicks on Fire website. I think this is Nubuck. I'm not going to go with Suede. Both of them very clean, sort of soft leather materials and natural materials. But you know, Suede is actually softer than Nubuck, and you can sort of rub the top of Suede and it changes the sheen of it. But looking at this, I'm going to have to go with Nubuck. Now, if I'm wrong in that, I apologise. But definitely, you know, if you know for sure, let us know in the comments down below. Maybe it's neither. Maybe it's not Nubuck or Suede. Maybe it's something else. But that's my take on the upper of these guys, the lizard print on the mudguard, and then that soft material. Doesn't really matter if it's Suede or Nubuck because they're both very soft, very nice textured materials. But like I say, I'm going with the Nubuck. Now from there, it's not too far to get to the lacing system on these guys, and something that just it's just on Air Jordan 12s for me is it always bugs me that there's the word 2 and then the number 3 to signify the shirt number for Michael Jordan 23. Either go with 2-3 or go with the words 2-3 is my kind of take on that. But that's on the tongue, and that's our first hit of white on these shoes. There are 3 more places where white comes in, but they're very much subdued under the purples and the blacks of these shoes. And then if we travel up past those laces and past that 2-3 to the top, where you get those 2 classic Air Jordan 12 eyelets, and in the case of these guys in that purple, I saw a great shot. Hopefully be able to bring it up for you guys here. You can really see the purple popping out of those eyelets there, and you can also see the definition of the jump man that's imprinted in those eyelets too. Now I did see another shot that's different from this one. This one makes the eyelets look a bit, I don't know, dulled down if you like, but I saw another shot that made them look a lot more kind of, I don't know, deep. There's a bit more to the colouring, and not only, hopefully I've switched out to that second shot of the eyelets, and you can see there's a bit more to the purple than that first shot. But then if we come down from that to the midfoot where you see the Jumpman branding in purple on there as well, you get that sense that there's a little bit of texture, or there's a little bit of definition, or something about the purple that gives it a bit of depth, a bit more to it than just that sort of flat sheen that we saw in the very first eyelet picture that I showed you. Now I should have done this already, but I'll do it now, to go to the top of the lace, not the laces, the tongues, where you've got the black tongue, and on there you've got a purple Jumpman embroidered on the tongue, which keeps that purple theme from going. And then if we travel back from that, it's not too far to look down onto the insoles, and I think I'm right in saying, is it a black insole with a white Jumpman or a purple insole with a white Jumpman? I'm going to go with purple and white. I can't remember what it was, but I think I know the Jumpman was white, which kind of surprised me because it didn't fit in with the sort of purple and black vibe of the rest of the shoe, even though there are a couple of white hits on these guys. But to give it that contrast, maybe purple on black or black on purple wouldn't have enough contrast, so they went with the white instead, which does have enough contrast, and you can see that for yourself in the green screen right here. And then from there, it's not too far to go back to that iconic heel on the Air Jordan 12s, and you can see this is actually the only place on the shoe where the black, the purple and the white all interplay. In most other places it's either one colour like black on the upper, or 2 colours like purple and black on the tongue, but having the 3 colours, the black, the white and the purple at play on the back here above that 23 in white and below that Jumpman in white is you know, it kind of ties the shoe together. It makes sense because it physically ties the shoe together as a place that the whole thing is sealed, but also it metaphorically ties the shoe together. Speaking of colours, let's flip these guys upside down and have a look at that iconic Air Jordan 12 outsole. You can see the outsole is basically black, but it looks through to the carbon fibre midsole, not midsole, midfoot, which has still got that grey and white feel to it, which I kind of like. If they'd gone with that black to sort of match the rest of the colourway, it would have dulled it down a bit too much. I kind of like the definition and the contrast to that midfoot carbon fibre element on there. And then if we go to the front of the shoe, you can see there's a little tab up there, the front, the branding tab at the front of the midsole in purple, and then beside that the white Jumpman. Hopefully when we flip it out and go back to look at the whole shoe one last time before we finish up, you can see that Jumpman peeking out the front of the toe roll on these guys. So I did say at the start of this video that I'd give you my verdict. It's coming on October the 23rd. Now today I'm shooting this video is October the 10th, but I have quite a lot of videos in stock, so I wouldn't mind betting that this video is going to drop around about October the 14th, maybe 10 days before the drop day. And my verdict is they just didn't quite get it right. Sorry, Air Jordan 12 fans out there. I do love the Air Jordan 12 colorway. The silhouette is one of my favorite shoes of all time, but it didn't quite jive for me. I think this would have been better. The purple hits would have looked better with two colors on the upper, like white and black, or something to give it a bit more contrast. I think because there's so much black and the purple is also a deep color, it doesn't have the contrast to kind of give it the pop that I like to see in Air Jordan 12. So that's my take on it, but that's not to say you have a different take. You might think these are the coolest shoes you've ever seen, and that's cool because we can have differences of opinion and still like each other. Okay, time for me to chip off. Thank you guys for checking out the content, and I'll just wrap this one up. Thank you guys for supporting and all that. I'm going to go ahead and get this up there into the old video editor and turned out onto YouTube as fast as possible. So thanks for checking out the content. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll do what I do at the end of every video, which is tell you I do this every single day, which means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.